Good afternoon to all. Before we begin, put your phones on silent and kindly refrain from using sound.
Love of learning is the most necessary opinion. Passion. In it lies a happiness. It's a sure remedy for what allies us. An unending source of pleasure. Led by Emily Duchatelet.
With the vision to be known globally for learning innovations, academic excellence, and socially relevant research outcomes, the NorthCap University strives to become the preferred destination for students, faculty, employers, and collaborators to become the pride of alumni and the community.
Universities of the 2022 NRF round of our system. Our university is also known as NAAC A grade accredited and is recognized by the UGC and the Bar Council of India. On behalf of the NorthCap University, we, Himansh and Tanya, are delighted to welcome you all today to the first masterclass of International Startup Idea Competition.
We would first like to welcome our guest of honor and the speaker of the masterclass, Mr. Vidya Bhushan, along with the dignitaries of NCU. Mr. Vidya Bhushan is the co-founder and COO of Daalchini Technologies. I would request VC Ma'am, Professor Nupur Prakash, to present the sapling to Mr. Vidya Bhushan.
Welcome to our campus. We are indeed very thankful to you, sir, for sparing time from your busy schedule and being with us today on this occasion. Now, we would like to start with inviting our session moderator, Mr. Chirag Talwar, to take over the session and continue with the masterclass.
Thank you very much for joining us today. We're indeed very excited. This is the first masterclass of the series for this year, the International Student Startup Competition, an initiative of Cintana Education, co-hosted by NCU and Unggul University. Thank you everybody for being here, Honorable Vice Chancellor ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Vidya Bhushan, for joining us today. We'd love for you to have you on stage here. And while we did discuss the format of the presentation, we insisted that we speak about the startup community and Mr. Bhushan's personal journey. Being a true entrepreneur himself, he says, Chirag, why waste time? Let's directly get into an activity which pretty much teaches the students of today, the future leaders of tomorrow, problem solving with the entrepreneurship ecosystem. So we'll just jump the gun, and Mr. Bhushan will have you lead the session for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. So obviously, actually, I didn't agree to that because I have been running my startup for 5 years, but still I have not become so big to share my journey. One day, in case, obviously, I will come back and share. But what my purpose was, how we can enable you guys to become entrepreneurs in next 90 minutes. And I'm sure that at the end of 90 minutes, all of you will think that you are an entrepreneur because you will actually go through the pains of an entrepreneur during that next 90 minutes. Before coming to this, because obviously our title says transforming products for the future, the power of improvisation and iterative design. So far, you must have learned that I'm not good at English. I'm not good at copywriting as well. So it was last Saturday, I got a call from Dr. Rohit that Vidya, can you share the topic of your talk? At that point of time, I have some idea that what I'm going to discuss, but I didn't have exactly, and neither I have decided what should be the copy of the title, because obviously it has to be catchy so that at least some people will turn up for the event. And I was, I think, in some meeting or somewhere, and he said that, okay, next 15 minutes you have to share. What I did was, I thought for some time, I think, kya ho sakta hai? And then I was not able to actually decide. I opened my mobile, went to OpenAI, clicked on ChatGPT, and wrote, I want to focus on so-and-so learning. Can you suggest a topic for me? And it gave me a very good topic. I was delighted. I thought, oh, it's done. But obviously, as an entrepreneur, you're not happy with the first iteration. So you say, so I typed, try again, and it gave me another topic. I said, try again, it gave me another topic. And after 4-5 iteration, actually, I was able to decide the topic which is over there. So the message that I sent you was not written by me, but by ChatGPT. Very next second, he said, actually, he messaged me, can you share the synopsis? I said, no, because I'm in a meeting and how can I say? But obviously, I didn't reply that. What I did was, again, I wrote a prompt in ChatGPT and said, can you write a synopsis on this? And ChatGPT gave me very good synopsis. Obviously, I was not happy. I said, try again. It gave me another synopsis. I said, try again. And it gave me another synopsis. That was good enough. But I didn't stop there. What I did was that I asked ChatGPT, can you give me the agenda of that talk so that I don't have to apply my brain? And ChatGPT did fantastic job. It gave me laundry list of topics that I should cover. And I thought, no, it's something which is going into the zone now. But it was very kind of excitement because obviously I don't have to do anything. Everything is being done by ChatGPT, which is another futuristic product. After going through those agenda, I thought I may not be able to pull it off because it's very high level agenda. Then what I'm going to do? Then I said, okay, do one thing for me. Send a PPT. I'm giving you my email ID. And then I just closed that window of ChatGPT and then went back to my work. After around 45 minutes, because obviously in case you are working on a PPT, no matter how intelligent you are, maybe a ChatGPT, it will take at least 30 minutes to prepare the PPT. So after 45 minutes, I checked my email and there was no PPT. Then I said, oh, what happened? Why ChatGPT was not able to prepare the PPT? Then I went to that prompt and the answer was that this is just text-based answer that I can give. I cannot give you PPT or presentation. At that point of time, I was sad and I was happy at the same time. I was sad because I will have to work on PPT because till now ChatGPT had helped me, but PPT will have to be done by me. But I was happy. Can anyone tell me why I was happy at that point of time?
Because we are smarter than the machine.
Yes, because at least machine has reached to the level that will help me some, but it has not reached at a level where ChatGPT will replace me. Otherwise, Dr. Rohit would have invited ChatGPT, not Vidya Bhushan. So that is like humans are still slightly ahead of machine as we speak. But tomorrow, in case we stop creating or start looking from the first principle, it is possible that ChatGPT will start taking sessions and we will just learning from the machines. So that was something I wanted to share my story of a futuristic product that can start hampering you. But there is a danger to it. Can someone tell what is the danger? Or maybe there is a pattern, because obviously during the PPT, we'll go a little more deep into this. But there is a pattern. Pattern is like initially machine used to automate mechanical works. So how many of you have used lift for coming on this floor? Couple of them. They're staircase, right? But now lift has actually taken that physical work from humans and they have automated it. Now we are standing at a juncture where this product or maybe this technology has started outsourcing or maybe started working that which our brains used to do. So what was the impact of previous innovation? When we have outsourced our mechanical work to machine, our body became weak, right? I am weaker than my father. My father was weaker than his grandfather because earlier we used to do a lot of physical work. Same thing is going to happen in terms of mind, because now we are outsourcing. Even in my case, around 80% of the work was outsourced to ChatGPT and remaining 20% was done by me. So down the line, after 20 years and 30 years, our brain will become weak just like our body. So this is a very dangerous sign, which is actually coming up, and people will realize after maybe 20 years, 30 years that we have stopped thinking. Everything is actually coming from ChatGPT. So what's the point of building this futuristic product in case it is going to replace humans? Anybody can tell why we are having this session to build a startup, build a ecosystem that will actually ultimately replace humans from the planet. And we will be actually dependent, we will become slave. One thing is clear, that machine will learn from the internet. Machine will always learn from humans. So humans will have to be one step ahead. And for that, we are having this session. That's how to be one step ahead of a machine so that machine will not replace you. So the agenda is that we have a framework. So as per ChatGPT, there are 37 frameworks that you can apply on a product and it will become futuristic product. So we can go one by one. It's like that it's a machine. You enter any damn product in that framework, and that particular product will become futuristic in nature without applying first principle from it, without even understanding why that particular team has become, particular products has become futuristic in nature. And there is second agenda, which has been designed by humans, and it's very basic in nature, like work like a scientist, or maybe think like a scientist. So in case someone would have told the scientist that, okay, Earth is flat, and he would have started his premise from there, perhaps we will not be able to find that Earth is actually spherical in nature. So how many of you are up for suggested by ChatGPT? And then second agenda, which is actually suggested by me, and then we can decide how to move ahead. So can I have show of hands? How many of you are interested in first agenda, and how many of you are interested in second? First, and how many of you are interested in second agenda? Okay, so largely people are going for second agenda. So what we will do, since we have started thinking like a scientist, so we have to follow what scientist says. So this is what one of the scientists says, that if you want to know the future, look at the past. So how many of you play cricket? Yeah. So in case you have to hit a six, you have to come to a back foot, and then you can actually. So similarly, in this session also, we will take a step back, and then we'll go to forward, future. So we have to decide a use case, right? Because obviously the entire presentation will be based on one use case, and then we will be iterating again and again in order to make it more fine-tuned and how those particular product can become a futuristic product. So any suggestion, any product which has been around for say 7,000 years, or maybe 10,000 years, anything that you can think of?
Writing.
Yes, writing is one.
Jewelry.
Yes, jewelry is one. Another one. Government. So 7,000 years, I don't know in case there was. So I'm going like inception, when we were actually hunters, right? And then we moved to cultivation around 7,000 BC. And then we started barter system, because food is something which will continue to one of the use case till we survive. Otherwise, tomorrow any startup can come up with any product and that will completely replace food. It will take, I think, another 1,000 years, but at least in next couple of years, food is going to continue. And food has evolved for last 7,000 years, and it has actually stayed. So most likely next 100 years, next 200 years, it will continue. So I have selected this food or maybe vegetables as one of the use case to discuss this. So in case you are a CEO or maybe product manager, and in case you have to actually understand the product, what you actually do. How many of you have attended gone for interview of Amazon? Anyone? Okay, so you will not get. So in case you at least for fun's sake, you can go and at least apply for Amazon interview, and you will think that you have to start from the customer, right? From the employees to founder, everyone is actually thinking from the customer side. So that is the first learning, that whenever we start evaluating a product, rather than looking what your capability are, you have to look from the customer side, that what customers are actually looking into that. So in that food delivery, and then these 3 points, like pre-purchase, during purchase, and post-purchase, this has been suggested by Steve Jobs. So he said that anything can be consolidated into 3 points. Say before ride, during ride, after ride. Before ordering, during ordering, after ordering. Before admission, during admission, after admission. So everything can be consolidated into 3 different stages, and we are trying to actually consolidate at each. And then each stage you will find certain expectations from the customer. Like pre-ordering, I like to have discovery, get more details of the product. In the during purchase, I want to have variety, touch and feel, maybe cost effectiveness. I think I'm losing some of them. How many of you actually buy vegetables even now, or it's completely online ordering?
Bye.
Yeah. So when you go and buy vegetables, what is the first thing that actually we look for?
Freshness.
Yes, freshness, touch and feel, pick and choose. Yes, that is the heart of the product. But if you look at platforms which are available in the market, it's like three, right? We have online delivery, then we have cart, and then we have shops and mart. But there is just one parameters which is present in cart, which is touch and feel, pick and choose, freshness. Rest, all the other startups, they have been able to capture that, but none of them were able to capture cart. Now, our focus during next 90 minutes is to build a startup around cart, that delivery as well as shops, and and then the market capture will be huge. So you can take the market share as well. So online delivery is at very low end, like say 5-6%. Shop and marts will be around 30%, but largely cart, which is there in around 70%. Can you tell me a single big company in this segment?
Blinkit.
These are they are into online delivery.
Basket.
Big Basket is online delivery, so they are able to deliver.
Want your card.
Yes, cart. So this is a wide space.
Supermarket.
Yeah.
Supermarkets is in shops and mart.
Shops and
So is there any? So I was trying to find a space which is still open for entrepreneurs, future entrepreneurs, to capture majority, 70% of the market, which is like $100 billion vegetables, even in India. It's like $70 billion market is open, and none of the startups have been able to capture it. Obviously, there will be problems.
Thela wala.
Thela wala, yes.
Yeah.
So why there is no Ola ka Thela, Thela ka Ola kind of startups? So that is something that we will be trying to build during next hours. So this is like pick and choose, touch and feel, and freshness. So that one of the participants rightly told that this is the core or heart of this particular version. And obviously now this is the first task coming up. This is not one way that I'll not be speaking, and you will have to actually apply some of the brains. Like this is the normal Thela wala, normal cart, which you see every day on the road. And in case you have to improve this cart, as in the first iteration, why you will improve and what 1 or 2 features that you would like to add. So you have 5 minutes, because in that case you will have to think holistic perspective. You cannot add all the features in one go because there will be 7 iterations. But you can think of just 1 or 2 features that you would like to add in this product. So we can start now.
Better brand hygiene.
Yes, so I think that we are sharing.
Portability.
Write it down.
portability. My compared acting market go away and that
If you want, you can use ChatGPT.
Right.
That can suggest few features, but that will not apply over. You can use that. So always remember that when you are coming up with the feature, you have to finalize the objective. Why do you want to add a feature? And then you have to find that what is the constraint in the system which is not letting you to achieve that objective. And then you can add a couple of why, how, that why is it so? You can just question that assumption itself. And then finally, how you can solve that. So I'm asking you how you can solve that. But you can always write your previous that why do you want to change, what you do want to change, why it was cannot be changed right now, and then how you will actually change that. So that is the thinking process that you can apply. And
It's fine.
so anybody can suggest in case you have completed the assignment.
Well, first of all, we can motorize the art.
Okay.
This effort input by this man is reduced.
Yes. So objective, what is the objective?
To improve the value.
So we are building a start. So building of a we are not running an NCU.
Okay.
So-
Objective can be to attract people to build trust in the customer, like if they are looking at the cart, and very easy purchasing process. So
So we are into first iteration. So just give me one objective. You cannot in first
attract customers. So
Attract
clean
customers.
carts, clean vegetables. If you can put the dates of the vegetables that they are fresh, it's also good.
So I have one counter question. You have moved from system to customer. Customer will come to this shop, or customer will come to this cart. Even if I run a promotion that I'm giving you 50% off, how many customer will come to this, and whether this particular person will be actually able to sell those products?
Yeah, if you're going to run it offline, if that is going to have a people that I'm going to give you 50% off, people are going to come to it because everybody in India are looking for cheap and really fresh vegetables or fruits like all the time. So even if somebody is sitting in a 15 lakh car, and if he saw if he is going to see that there is this thaler going on with a 50% off, he's going to come to that thaler.
Yes, got it. So it means our objective is to attract more customers without thinking about the driver, whether the driver will be able to push that cart or not. So let us be here reasonable at this stage that this particular person is able to sell his vegetables. So customer acquisition at this stage is not a problem. Problem lies somewhere else.
Maybe motorized system to push the cart.
Yes.
Make it easy for him to.
Yes.
Battery operated.
So that's why I told that we have to find the constraint in the system. Constraint in the system is the man himself. He will not be able to drive in case I keep another 10 kg of vegetables. So even if I keep 100 kg of vegetables, he is not able to push. What's the purpose of that? So that's why I said you have to think from the first principle. In case we go by your marketing knowledge, in case you go by your practical knowledge, ChatGPT is there. Think by looking at the problem, and then you will be able to identify. So what you are saying is something which can become after iteration 5, iteration 6, which is slightly advanced level of concept. We have not gone there. So that is slightly premature to attract customer at this stage. So as Madam told, the purpose is to replace this guy. Objective, ultimate objective is to increase the revenue, but at this stage constraint was the man. So we'll try to solve, but we'll add a couple of more steps to it because obviously this was intuition based. So we will make it little more financials, and we will also look from the customer side, and we will also look from the system side. So this is very natural that in case I'm trying to solve a problem, I will look at my system, I will look at customer side, what are their expectations, and then whether those are clubbing into good financials or not. In case financials are negative, no matter how much you do with that particular startup will not sustain. So last, in case look at features, feature is just that it has vegetables, just 4-5 varieties. So this is the constraints. And in case you look at the customer side, they have 8 expectations. Out of that, we can choose is the one which is available in this cart. Largely, other 8 expectations are not there. So as a product manager or as a entrepreneur, I would like to solve the next what is the thing that I'm going to solve? And most likely we are going to solve for varieties, how it can be solved when we increase the power of this man. And then obviously we'll do some fine tuning. This is how unit economics, is it visible?
Yes.
So this is unit economics, not the financial of the company. So what is the first thing that you notice at this stage?
Number of customers per day.
Yes. Yes, this is the revenue section. This is the additional revenue section. This is the expense, and then finally, what is the overall profit? So this card is actually negative. And can someone say that in case it is negative, why we see so many cards on the road?
Everything lack of education.
Yes, lack of education. Their expectation is low. So you have the earning potential of 15,000 rupees. You are happy with 5,000 rupees. In case I'm running a company, I will expect it. So in case you start working for me, you will expect 15,000 rupees. So net is like 10,000 loss. So this is the notional loss. So that particular cartman may not be losing, but as a corporate setup, company might be losing it, because at the end of the day, I will have to pay 15,000 rupees to him, whether he is expecting whatever amount. So these are the first thing that comes, like a profit is negative. And then you can see a couple of more pointers, like customer generally come to this particular cart less than revenue from the, and then this is like, oh, your cost is 14,000 rupees and you are earning just 15,000 rupees. So this is not sustainable. So what we can do as like increase revenue is the objective, or we can increase the variety as in case we increase the variety, more customers can come, or maybe we will be able to move forward. Variety is less as driver is unable to push. So it is not that this particular man will not have access to more. In case he is buying 10 kg, he will be able to buy another 15 kg, but he knows that he will not be able to drive the cart. So he's just buying 20 kg, whatever it is. And then because the variety problem is there, then we have to solve this. I am just repeating it again and again, because in next iteration, we will go a little fast. So we have to look from the three side that which problem we are solving. So this is the tricycle cart, which is there. So what are the major changes that we have done in this? So if you look at, we have added some digital weighing. We have added, weighing cart, weighing machine. Then earlier it was one layer. Now we have 2 layers of card. So earlier it was 4 varieties. Now we have 8 varieties. Card is slightly more clean. Then we have added some logo. So now it is big. Yeah.
In a real case scenario, how could a man who is losing could pull something like that? I mean, like money wise, how could he have the logo, the new bicycle and stuff, if his business is mostly losing?
Yes.
How
So-
could he do it?
Yes. So this is not done by that particular person. So as I told in the beginning, we are trying to build a company. So we have analyzed the situation where there is a cart, there is 80 billion market available to capture by that cart, and still that particular cart is not able to organize. This is still in organized segment. So now you all are CEO of a new company, and you are trying to solve that problem. So think from that angle, that particular person is not solving anything. You are solving problem for him, and you are building a company. So that is the first iteration you have decided, and then you have added a couple of features. That is the first thing that you would like to do POC. It's like POC, right? You are doing POC, that whether in case I add varieties, that is just assumptions. I'm adding few varieties. I'm making it clean. I'm making it more digital, appealing. Person will start coming to it. So that is just a POC we are running. Think like as entrepreneurs at this point of time. Not obviously we are trying to solve it. So what we added major. The support from merchant side, sorry, from the customer side, or maybe expectation. This is the new arrival. Like now, customer will have 8-9 varieties. How the unit economics work? So you can see that it is still negative in nature. Now, why it is negative, and can you just infer a couple of inference from this? So just think that it's product, as well as you have to understand finance also. In case you are not able to understand finance, you will be end up getting to a point where you will have to shut your shop. So here it is still negative. From 8,000 it has become 4,000, but there is some a clue that which new thing that I need. So we see that here the revenue has increased by 88% and cost has increased by 28%. So now there is an arbitrage. So I have just added 28% in the cost, but revenue has increased 88%. So it also gives us some clue that in case we keep, so we are on the right path. In case we keep adding cost or expenses, revenue will increase. So I'll quickly move to next iteration where again the same set of theory was there, that sale is low. We can add on varieties and then we can add the capacity. So there is one subtle change at this stage. One subtle change at this stage is that earlier the man was the constraint. What is the constraint in this? What is the bottleneck of this system?
Cost of vehicle has been.
Economic access.
Yes.
Cost of vehicle has also got added into the system.
Yes.
That would
And
be
total
increasing
wastage.
with time.
So that is a clue.
So you need to.
That is a clue. That's I said that depreciation was 83. Now the depreciation is 285. So the revenue and the expenses, the range we are in thousands, and this is at just hundreds. So there is huge scope of improvising the cart. So the first part, the constraint of bottleneck was.
But are you considering regulation in this scenario? Because what you're doing is basically taking an informal in nature economic scenario and taking it into an entrepreneurial scenario. But doing that would require you to going from informal to formal, and something that I think should be considered is taxes, for example. That you will have a government that's regulating you and making sure that you are following the rules, something that is not happening with your cart, for example, with the man that sells fruit in the street.
Yes, so that's again that will change from country to country, and here our objective is to come up and then no matter in case you are a true entrepreneur, you will not care about regulation. In case you have followed the story of Uber, so actually they didn't follow any regulations and they became hundreds of $1 billion company, right? $60 billion company just by bypassing them. So this is again something which you will have to think that how you are going to abide by the rules. But in case you are stuck by the regulation, you will not be able to think by it.
But eventually Uber had to fall in line. They had to follow the countries. Every country has different.
So when they have become more than $60 billion,
Yeah.
then it came.
Then they started.
Yes, yes. So that is always there, that as we grow. So for example, in case I want to set up a say a factory of say vending machine in my here, so there is 0% tax. But in case vending machine manufacturing becomes a little big,
Right.
so we have to be ahead of government in majority of the case. So this is the next thing that we can do easily is like price card, because the last time what we felt that vehicle, and then in case you look at unit economics, largely still it is going to break even, because we are able to add more varieties, we are able to add more capacity in the machines, and overall the sale has also increased. But what next can be done?
Now,
Can someone think what can be done at this stage?
GPS and location.
Yes, exactly.
Services.
Yeah, so what you were telling, that now we have a vehicle where I can add as much as products I can keep, and we have a sorted supply chain. We have varieties like coming in 2025. Not
area and everything that is coming in.
yes, yes, that is the exactly version where we have actually a cart which is connected to app, and then actually customer will be able to actually discover that where this cart is coming and how the flow will look like. So basically we have added a couple of more things, like we have added app, we have added support system, we have added fruit. These are like So in case there is one point, you can click on one. So objective was that I have to reach to more customers. And then obviously other features will start coming into your mind that, okay, I have to reach the customer so that my revenue can increase. So I will have to add support system to that. I will have to actually basically add more varieties like fruits, etc. You can add. And this is how it looks like on the other side. Like discovery, pre-ordering, and pick and choose, etc. is happening. This is how it looks like. I think I don't know how many of you have to this, but this is something which is how many of you can call a cart to your home for pick and purchase. So this we can enable that. Like you can tap on the cart, you can discover the cart, you can call cart and get the product at your place. How the commercials will work. So this is the first time we are getting into profitability, because as long as currently we are solving the system level problems, now we have started solving actual problems of the customer, and then your problem will start. So your revenue will start jumping, and that we can see over here. What next?
More cards.
Yeah.
More cards.
Scale. Yeah. So we can work on scale. We can add multiple cards. That's another way of expansion. But here we are trying to improvise the existing
inventory management, or now maybe we'll look at efficiencies, because now we have the product, we have the marketing.
Yes.
We'll now look at the cost where we can optimize and build the systems around so that we can scale, but also go for profitability.
Yes. So this was one grade I have kept. Like wastage was 2x of profit. So you are earning 17,000 rupees and wastage is 34,000. So now the focus would come from systems to customer to now the operations. Like how we are going to manage the operations. So how we can manage that? How
they have a different idea.
Yeah.
In regards to how to improve it. So given by the fact that it's bringing the market consumer, so we can improve it by creating routes, daily routes that are always there, so that the consumer I can stand by 9 a.m. know that that cart will go. So I will be already there being ready, and we can establish these routes through the application and cover almost all of the routes that are not yet covered.
Yes, exactly. So that is the apps. Once we have launched the app for your card, this is just like Ola, Uber. You can track where it is, and then you can book that card. You can call that card to your home. So all the functionality will start coming into picture. Think just one piece that is going to move the entire other part. So now this is tough slightly. So that now we have reached at a stage where we have to improvise on the operations. Now we have moved from product to customer to systems. Now we have to improvise the operations. What can be done now? Anyone? Yeah.
Pre-booking 1 or 2 days earlier, so that the seller already knows that whatever is the demand for the next 2 or 3 couple days and buys accordingly, and so that the wastage is less and can sell accordingly.
Yes, exactly. So we are pre-booking the products, or maybe we are allowing customer to pre-book their order.
Pre-book the delivery of the cart and whatever the supply is needed.
Yes, it's like home delivery kind of. Okay.
But they'll be also able to touch and feel the items, and they'll be able to choose whether they want to buy.
Touch and feel is not there in home delivery.
But in this card, it will be.
Yes.
And the procurement of the product which is really famous in the area or which is getting consumed a lot should be done in a you can take it in advance or things like that you can do, so that the procurement of the favorite product is very easy and it's always fresh. So it's like a reliability to your name and you will get customers again.
Yes, and that will also reduce the wastage, right?
Yeah.
So in case you have demand forecasting, you have done a good demand forecasting, you have pre-ordering in place, and you have actually picked up those products which are getting sold more often in that particular area. So you have done a lot of background customizations. So that largely, this is just one objective. Obviously, we cannot discuss all the objective in one slide. So one objective was that why this is actually happens, and can someone go little deep understanding of wastage, like when this wastage actually happens and how we can. So I have written one, like high wastage is generally because these fruits, vegetables may have low shelf life, and generally this spoilage happens at the end of the night, right? So in case I'm not able to sell in the entire day, In case I want to sell it next day, people will not buy. And then, so that's why we need to sell it before the end of the day. How this is a typical problem that you will face in your startups, right? Day-to-day operations, like, okay, while I was chasing customer for revenue, I have added a lot of revenue stream or a lot of cost, but now I'm not able to tell, and it's giving me a hard time because it's getting wastage. So how to manage that?
So I was just reading about some stuff, and it was from Delhi, and they were selling fruit salad, and it was getting the shelf life of fruits were like really less. So what they did, they started creating juices, and the shelf life of juices like it's more. So that's the reason they created another product and they started selling that product.
Yes, that is secondary sales.
Yeah, secondary sales.
Yes. So now you have to start thinking the primary revenue to secondary revenue. Because in case you focused on just one revenue, ultimately you will end blocked. At some point of time, you will get blocked. So you will have to start thinking, can I monetize this particular feature or not? So this is what I have written, that you can start delivery or maybe B2B. B2B, like at the end of the day, I can sell it to a restaurant or maybe to any of those large corporates. And how these customers, so now you see that after this app, largely most of them are green, except pick and choose and cost effectiveness. Pick and choose is red because while diversifying, we have moved away from the hard feature, which is pick and choose. This is good or bad sign that we started on a premise, but after 4 iterations, we are actually moving away from that premise. Then what's the objective of building this company in case in future we are going to become another online delivery platform? My question is clear, right? So we started with the premise that the touch and feel will be the core feature of our startup. But on the way, after 3 iterations, in order to satisfy customer, in order to save some cost, we actually moved away from that. This is very natural. As you grow in the organization, sometimes you will have to compromise on such things. But obviously, you will have to keep in mind that you have slightly migrated from your core basics. So obviously, you all have a startup idea. At some point of time, you will start actually questioning that particular premise itself. If you look at the unit economics, mostly it has become green, except one, which is like the driver's salary is high because now because of home delivery, you have to send 2 drivers with 1 car, and one driver cost would be like 20,000-40,000 rupees, right? So largely it's coming around 30% of your revenue. So that is the pain points. So what can be done next? So that's why I said that initially when you start a startup, you have a lot of ideas. But as you go into 4th iteration, you will start having a short of ideas. So now can tell me 5 features at this stage, what should add? Because now we are short of 2-3 features more. So think like entrepreneurs, go as wild as possible.
What about making a refrigerated cart?
Yes, that's one key. Now we have to diversify into more and more products. We have actually added vegetables, we have added fruits. Now we can go into refrigerated products, we can go to washed products, we can pre-cut products. So now we have to make it more complex so that we continue in our journey. So that is one. What others?
What about making a fruit salad with the products that are going to waste? You make a fruit salad and then you can start selling that.
This is something that we have already discussed in the previous. So now you have started thinking just on the product. There are 15 different things that us entrepreneurs must think. In case you start thinking tangentially, you will not be able to achieve your objective. So now this is the stage where that's why I have written 5 minutes.
So we can do Coca-Cola thing, like we can give refrigerator in every store, and there we can store our vegetables. So it will be our branding, and it will be immovable cart, but it's there.
So like satellite storage you will create.
Yeah, we will create a storage for other products as well, but our products is also going, when its branding is also going to happen.
So you can take a small corner in a shop, you can come and you can just deliver that on that particular spot, so that when your cart moves on, people can go and buy that, because obviously by that time you will become brand.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's a good idea. So go for wild, because wild ideas, I know that now we are trying to fix here and there, like we are adding a few products, we are adding few things. Why we are not going even more stretch?
Probably build a software so the car can drive by itself,
Yes.
like Tesla.
Yes. So that's like, I have already pointed that 30% of the revenue is actually consumed by the driver. What's the need of driver? Whether he's adding any value to things?
Drones.
Yeah, drones is something which can be added. So give me one thing which we should do in the next in this next iteration.
But if the cart is not manned, who is going to monitor what to sell? How
That's
much
the
to sell?
purpose of entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs have answers to everything.
We can add through the service thing, for example, since there's already a cart, we can place easy to get tables or chairs that could be placed when you go to the specific location, and then you can serve the drinks that are suggested based on.
It's like a running cafe. So as soon as cart is actually stationed at a certain locations, there will be chairs coming out, and then people can just enjoy, just like a running cafe kind of stuff. Yes, that's another stuff here.
Perhaps we can make the cars electric, and then in the afternoon and in the morning, the solar panels can charge a few batteries where the vehicle will be parked at night. And after the vehicle is done selling its goods, can come back and charge overnight, then continue the cycle the next day.
So do you not think this is pivot, not adding features? So we are now pivoting into a completely different domain altogether.
But it's reducing
I-
the running costs.
Yes, running cost I know, but somehow it has to sync with what we are thinking. Touch and feel is the our core, and we have already compromised in the last iteration. So somehow we have to come back to this. So financial must be very happy that now company is like 9 lakhs, but the product manager and CEO, they are not happy because the core feature is actually getting diluted. And there is a danger of becoming this company another online delivery platform. So we have to start thinking in the direction how to bring that core or hard feature back into the company. Otherwise, company will get spoiled.
Maybe we can incorporate cold storage boxes inside the car. I don't know if that has been discussed
Yes,
previously or not.
so Tesla kind of autopilot. Someone
No,
has
not
suggested.
autopilot, I'm not saying that. Cold storage box, so that the vegetables can be maintained fresh and the touch and feel kind of experience user can.
Yes. So this is the one that I could think of, like completely unmanned car. The one, madam, you were actually actually pointing to. That this is completely unmanned car, as you suggested. This is connected to internet. There is a robot, so that will deliver to your home. And touch and feel is back, because in case you have ordered 10 kg of vegetables, this robot will carry 20 kg of vegetables. You can just pick and return it to the robot. Robot will come back. And this particular phrase, there is a step you can go, and just like Amazon Go, right? You can open the shelf, take it whatever you want, and it will be deducted from your wallet. Now, how many of you actually think this is a good step, and how many you think that in order to bring back that core feature back into the action, we have actually intimidated some of our customers? Now we are actually moving away from our core customer base who are actually going to buy from the cart.
And it's actually
Yes.
a bad experience because we have not considered about theft that can.
Why theft will happen at this?
The customers will buy from the customers who were actually coming on the road, and the housewives and everybody else, they're going to put out on them.
So they may not feel very comfortable, right?
Yeah.
But obviously we are entering into the future. So till last time we were actually in the present. Who knows, after 5 years, people will be comfortable buying from vending machines, buying from unmanned cart. So in case you have started a company today, you will not building a company for tomorrow, right? You are building for next 10 years. So you have to start thinking in those directions.
But if we use so much of sophistication, won't it increase the prices or the economic access of the
Yes.
food item?
Now
would-
finance team will be very
Right.
angry.
And just if the prices go up, people would stop purchasing it from there. They will prefer to purchase it from a farm where they can buy it at a convenient price.
Yes.
The whole idea would collapse.
Yes. So that's the problem. That when you start running a startup, initially you have a lot of ideas. You want to try out all the ideas in the first iteration. And then as you grow, you are short of ideas, and then you becoming wild. and then you're coming up to the ideas which will actually collapse the entire company.
But don't you think you are maybe thinking too fast? Like engines were created like more than 100 years ago, but still you still have a man with a car. So there's a reason why these men still exist, because there's a demand, there's a supply, and market simply creates itself. So maybe by simply adding more complications, you're trying to fix something that's not really broken, because you have a way to acquire products, you have someone that's living off of it, and the market's not punishing that, it's actually rewarding it. So maybe by simply pumping more money, you're creating further complications in the market that didn't even need it in the first place.
Yes, I completely agree with you that the feature that was added in the previous iteration was over the top. And this customer may not have demanded, right? So in the previous discussion, mostly in the first iteration, we were discussing mostly about customers, right? How to solve the problem. We were actually looking into constraint, looking into what is the bottleneck in the system, how we can solve that. But towards the end, what happened? Actually, we actually moved into so much things that actually we lost from where we have come. And this is the real life. That within 5 minutes, we forgot from where we have come. And as you have reached closely, now we have money, we have, obviously, in case you have reached at this stage, you have at least Series B or Series C funding. You have enough money in the bank. You can anyway experiment whatever you like. So people stop thinking in that direction as soon as money hits your bank after the funding. So that's the point. But again, there is another learning also, that you have to keep improvising. You have to keep giving more products. So this is the closer look of the robots. And then in case you look at the one someone has said that, okay, we can have beverages and then we can add new. In case you look at customer, from the customer side, most of them are green. But still, I see people are not happy. Right? I think people are a little confused. Even in the company at that stage, in case you have like 2,000 people working in the company, the people will be actually think, what's happening around?
Why there are so many rapid change
Yes, yes.
Because, and I can give it from my experience, because in startups usually, for example, if you're implementing an SAP or a system that is meant for, let's say, 100 crores of revenue, but the moment, and it takes around 4 months to implement. By the 4th month, the entire plan changes. No, now we want to sell this, and the SAP that we implement is not capable to have that as an SKU, let's say. So there's a frustration that comes in, that why are we changing the thought process, the vision of the company so fast? So that actually happens in a startup culture.
Yes.
Because some of the team members may cope up with the changes, but some of the time team members find it very challenging, that why, especially the functions which are like support functions, finance and product, admin. So they find it very challenging in adapting to the rapid growth that is happening in a startup with the changings that are taking place.
Yes. So this is very common to happen, right? Now, as company grows, focus of entrepreneurs is not only on the product. Now you will become managing people problems, workers problems, and then you will have a very limited time to focus on the product. And obviously you will be suggested by your advisor. Advisor will have their own vested interest. That, okay, why don't you launch this? Why don't you launch this? And then there is so much scope on this. You can tap new markets and so on. So how to fix this then? Because now we have invested. Because see, it's very easy to actually say that the decisions that you have taken was incorrect. But now we are at this stage, iteration 6. Think like a company that we are working for this company. Now we have come to the boardroom, and this is the scenario. People are complaining, but what is the way forward?
Instead of using the machines, we can use the farmers and remove technically the middle person, that is the machine, and use directly the farmers, so that it will create a public representation as well, that we are providing more and more economic and fresh vegetables, as well as including the farmers would also create more of jobs, and as well as the farmer presence would give up emotional touch of presence to the clients, so that they can feel that they can rely on this.
Okay. Now my question is that the solution that you have given us, that's something which is not solving this. You are trying to solve the supply side.
Not the supply side. It will increase our presence in the market, and to the people, that they will rely that this person is able to supply us with fresh vegetables, and it will also increase our revenue, because machine will need maintenance. the farmer won't need that much of maintenance. Instead, they'll be needing more of a job that they'll be able to get. So technically, our revenue will increase because reducing all the maintenance and everything, we can be betterly effective.
Okay, so maybe
No, not exactly quite high. The farmer and
I'll actually just clarify the question. So as soon as I reached there, people started complaining, right? That why you are doing this, why we have added so many features, this is not needed, this, that. Okay, we have taken a pause. Now we have said, you suggest what to do next, because now we have invested a lot of money in coming up this robotic, because obviously it was suggested by someone that why don't we go unmanned. So what's the correction from here? So now we will start taking from the first principle that what's the problem with the customer which is not getting solved from this, and what's the bottleneck in the entire system. That's why, because we are not able to do certain things. So that is something that should come out. Obviously, the problem is that we have built a system, right? We cannot throw it away right away. How to manage it forward? That's the question.
No, maybe it's wrong, but the issue here is this customer was able to pick and choose everything, right? And now they are not able to pick and choose. This is the situation.
No, pick and choose is possible.
Like
It's reduced, like the
But
the robot
price
is
goes up.
price also.
Yes.
And
So this is for home
limited,
delivery. So this is for home delivery. This is for home delivery.
yeah.
So home delivery, earlier we used to give a bag of 10 kg. Now we are sending 20-30 kgs. People can pick from 30 kg. Now, in case you have to pick, you can come here. You can open any of the shelf, whatever you want, you can go and pick and choose. So pick and choose problem is still we were solving pick and choose. Now, so
The bottleneck here is the economic access. If we use so much sophistication, the prices go up, and the the customers, they would prefer to purchase it from somewhere whether it is worth it. That is the bottleneck. So I think matlab, the solution
opening up
is to
customer, more
prevent
customer is-
over sophistication.
Mhm.
We can maintain godowns in a city where the sales are closed and refrigerate the godowns instead of refrigerating the carts. And as the order comes, it can be shifted from the godown. The placement of the godown could be logistics would be an issue.
logistics.
Focus on the economies of scale so that we can get more customer acquisition, so that we can grow further. Economies of scale. So that we can.
Okay, so at this stage, in case I look from the customer, I am standing at a point where, in case I am little tech savvy, I will be able to buy this product from the refrigerated machine or unmanned machine. People who are say bottom of the pyramid, they will not be able to buy. People on the top of the hierarchy, they are also not able to buy because these robots will be able to deliver just on ground floor, not more than that. So now we have two options. I can go back to the bottom of the pyramid and then remove all these sophistications, or I can go forward and start tapping the high-end customer. Because you as a startup will not have capacity to solve all the problems of the customer. So you have to say that in case I'm standing, what should I do?
Could we educate the customers? Like, for example, Uber. We didn't have Uber a few years ago, and now everybody know what it is, can use it. We can just do that.
Yes, so that is like you are trying to upgrade the bottom of the pyramid customers to the mainstream customers. That is the very valid point at this stage, where we need to bring them, because people were not using Uber in 2009. People started using around 2014-15. People actually started adopting the new technology. So the campaign or marketing campaign that we have to build around this, so that people actually start appreciating this product. But in case I have to go for the product innovations, what I will do next? And this is very typical that we always create the decision that we have taken in the past, but when we have been given options to solve, we actually face. And this is very common in my company also, that whenever we take any decisions, employer is someone will start craving it. But when we say, oh, give me the solution, and then actually we always stuck.
I think we can, one thing we can, now we have to go back and see research where there is a requirement, which is a market where there is a requirement that the street vendor cannot go directly. There, these machines, these cars, unmanned cars can be more, can generate interest because there the possibility is less. For example, a hilly area where usually the cart cannot go where there's a steepness is there. So similarly, we can make our product more adaptable to those places where
Open up new markets.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
open up the new market. There can be different ways of opening up the new markets. Like the hilly terrain, you can have very lightweight automobiles that can go to this. So
Or we just justify our prices. Like if you're paying this much, we are giving actually very good quality to you.
but we are not improving. We are not moving in productivity. So we have to actually move forward also. In case we don't relate or in case we don't add values to our product will become stale, right? Nobody will. So you see that all the companies, they are adding new features, new functionalities in their people so that people keep engaging. In case you say that no, I'm not going to do, not.
Can we add AI for someone to talk to, like, for example, I'm a consumer, I'll talk to that AI and ask what this product is all about. How was it? What are your feed into it? And that's how we would improve. It's like a virtual assistant for AI. That's as an assistant or a seller for the actual card.
So what problem we have solved?
The acknowledge that, take for example, I'm ignorant and there's only information that are place to.
So that's the education that you are saying. Very good idea that you have said that how to educate users using AI. And so obviously we are not getting more into details, but the problem statement. So one of the problem that I was able to identify was that why we are not able to capture, and as a forward looking, what I'll do, I'll move forward and I will try to see that why I'm not able to get more users and why we are not going more premium, because we have already invested a lot. Education, bringing bottom of the pyramid customers to our mainstream, it can be our secondary or maybe can be parallel things that I can continue, but I will always move up because the money is on the top, right? So people will start buying more in case I'm able to cater to the personalized needs of those top the hierarchy customers. So this is what my focus was, that rather than using another man for delivery, why not use drones and deliver it on any floors? So as soon as we open up, in case you go to Noida or in case you go to any high-rise building, earlier it was like you're opening up your system for say ground floor people. Now these drones will deliver products, home delivery from the balcony. It will go to your balcony and just deliver and come back.
Again, it will increase the cost, I think.
Yes, yes. So you will have to justify that the market that you are opening up right now is like 20x. So obviously finance and offerings will go hand in hand.
Because already the prices were increasing and we are increasing the prices more, like
Yes.
adding.
Yes, this happens. This happens like we say that we don't have to look at the sunk cost, but in reality it not happens. You always look at the sunk cost. Okay, we have already invested 5 billion. Why not invest 1 more billion and try to see that whether it will or not? In case you say I'm going to write off those 5 billion, it is very tough decisions, right? So this is very normal in the. So if you look at this point, obviously what my objective was to go to high-rise building and so start serving everyone through the balcony, so that we don't have to depend on robots to deliver. Now what? Because there is no end of the imagination for on. So we started from very humble cart. Now we are standing at a stage where we have an app, we have a vending machine based auto Tesla type vehicle, we have robots, we have drones, everything is done just for vegetable delivery. Obviously we can add more sophisticated products into that, but what next? Because there is no end to the offerings that you can. So this is obviously most of you are entrepreneurs, right? So start thinking in that direction, that why we are not able to think, because we are trying to solve a problem and we are at a stage where given. So leave aside whether it is practical or not. Go as wide as possible.
What if we take some space in the high-rise building and just start growing vegetables there?
So it's like you are bringing vegetables closer to the customer.
Yeah, hydroponics. I mean, you can just.
It's like farm to fork. So in case
Yeah.
you look at majority of the agri-tech companies, what they are doing, they are actually bridging the gap between the farmers and the fork.
Yeah.
Your vegetables, right? So what they are doing, they are actually removing some of the elements from those in the intermediaries, so that the produce reaches to the farm easily. I mean, it's more conveniently. What you are doing, rather than leave farmers, you are bringing farmers closer to the farm. That is another idea that can work.
What about tracing the freshness of the product with the blockchain and letting people know that when was this product harvested?
Okay, so more information about the product. So what we are saying, that touch and feel. Why touch and feel is needed? Because we want to check whether that particular product is damaged or whether it is not stale, it's not old. But in case we are able to track the vegetables journey, then obviously it gives more intuitive ideas that okay, vegetable would be good. So that is how blockchain can be clubbed with this vegetable delivery, and then touch and feel effectiveness, what we call a heart feature, will continue, will become a little more louder without even touching the product, right? So now we are in at a stage, we are at a plane, in a plane where we are not touching the product, but we have full confidence that the product must be fresh. Any more ideas?
In the app, maybe we can offer nutritional value or the diets based on their eating habits, their diseases.
So that was iteration 3. When we actually launched the app, all those features would be added in that.
But I think I'm saying that nutritionists can be added now, and they can suggest a week plan of their diet based that the delivery will come. So it's like apart from living normal.
These are like offerings, these are offerings that I could have done as soon as I launched the app, right? So I can set a menu and then I will give it to menu, and then you can always come and check those menus. And so those are like, to me, it's like iteration 3, 4 type of features. In case we are at iteration 7, you have to think really, really wide, because now we have moved past all those things that is done, and up to iteration 6, I think ChatGPT could have easily guessed what's happening next. Now we have actually started to think of beat ChatGPT.
What I see in this case is you are adding liability again and again. You are buying a card, you are buying loans, right? Instead of having that, why don't you buy a shop at a particular high-rise building? Then you make a go-down kind of thing, and from there you will start your card having a perimeter that fine at this time this will I'll be delivering this. But most of the vegetables and the fruit, you have certain time. By that time you actually provide to the high-rise buildings and also. You have a good transportation facility whereby you can dump the things at a particular high-rise building as per the location, and then you start distributing it. It will be easier for you. And you will also have not have a liability, you will have less liability, you will have a asset also.
But what you are saying is that for me, at this point of time, constraint is time. I have all the functionalities, I have all the features under the sky, and I'm not able to reach the customer in 2 hours, because vegetable shopping generally happens in the morning, 8, 6 to 9, or maybe in the evening, right, 9 to 10. In case I go back to road transport, in case I go back to any other transport, I am not beating time. So my objective is not to compete with current thing. Now we have moved past those things. So I will not go back and obviously try to take another shop and start delivering just that is in 2020, 2020, 30, 2022. This is already happening. So I know it's little difficult to remove this sunk cost, but I will actually keep moving forward, keep disrupting the markets. But what next is the question.
Optimization in terms of the demand.
Yes.
So where to place the vehicle, or where should the vehicle go first where the demand is more? So some optimization is what?
Yes. As you suggested, blockchain can, or maybe in artificial intelligence and blockchain, that will actually automatic generation. So we'll not have to think. Humans will not have to think about
Right,
that.
right.
24 hours buy or services, like 24 hours. Not just limited to
That's always there. You say the bulk buying in vegetables generally happens in the morning or in the evening. And generally you will not go buy, obviously buying in the 12 o'clock the day also, but largely people buy in the morning and evening. So in case you are thinking, why not change the buying behavior? Why? So it's like your premise is like why you have said you are selecting other time, because it's like a premise that customers are buying in the morning and in the evening. Now I will make a system where customer will not feel that they are buying stale products whether in the morning or afternoon. Why? So that is the interest you are coming from that premise is good. That now you have amplified the time. And obviously, in case you have amplified the time, you have opened up new markets. So my earlier topic was we have come to a stage because I want to deliver as fast as possible because people were able to go. Now somehow I'm able to deliver in more time and more. So your operational cost will reduce, right? So the same cart will start moving every day, and then entire day actually it is delivering products.
What if we start chopping vegetables and add a sachet of masalas with it?
So that is product iteration 2 that we have already added, right? A lot of new.
So added masalas.
No, not exactly masalas, but we have already worked on varieties. The varieties was added like all those washed vegetables or maybe pre-cooked, cut or maybe washed or maybe cut fruits. Those things are different variants of varieties. That was iteration 2, 3 kind of. Right now, I cannot think of that. No, you have to look what will come now.
I was thinking maybe the customer doesn't have to order. For example, with AI, with Siri, with intelligent fridge. I know my machine knows that my bananas last 3 days. So in the next 3 days, a new banana has to come here, but I don't have to get in, order them, pay for them. They will just come automatically.
Yes. So now, actually, what we are moving into direction is that the automation what we have done, it was actually done at the machine. That's why I started with the ChatGPT story. That so far we were actually focusing on the mechanical machines that were solving some of the problems. Now we have to move from mechanical to mental problems. If it's mental or no mental, maybe decision-making problems. That the people, when they are going to buy, they have multiple decisions to make, right? Generally, whenever I ask my wife, ask kya banda hai, then I generally get the reply, "Tumhi bata do." So now those discussions will actually stop into play. And we will start solving at that level where people will not have to think. The machine will actually deliver products before even, and then it will go and move on. So that is the next level of innovations that we have to do so that people will stop thinking about food and everything will be done at that level. Yeah.
Yes, to add to that, the consumer will order based on their emotions. You don't have to open the app, but it's more on their emotions. Like, for example, I'm sad, so I will think of any taste or any food that I crave. So it will automatically.
Yes, yes. So now we are started playing with the memory of the people. So what's going around? At this stage, people might look, say, hey, what we are talking about.
Yeah, that's like
Common. But I say that when we started a vending machine in 2018, there were that terms that was given to us. Who will buy products from the machine? Time after 5 years, actually we have replaced majority of the canteen from majority of those companies, whether Reliance, Tata, Adani, Ambani, our machines are present everywhere. So as entrepreneurs, if you start looking at the current context and try to solve that, that will anyway will be solved by someone. You have to solve for the problem that will come up after 5 years. And then obviously you will do iteration. You will join hands with a lot of people, but as you grow, you will become a kind of niche. And that's the learning. Because something that looks funny at that point of who has thought of in 2020 that I'll just book a cab and it will come to my doorstep in 5 minutes. Who would have thought that in case I want for what I'm thinking and give me the title of this project and ChatGPT will give. Even I think 3 months before people would not have thought of. Obviously entrepreneurs were working on that in 2014. But normal people like us were not aware even 3 months back. So what we are discussing, what we want to say is that you have to keep that particular level in mind. Otherwise, you will actually become Me Too kind of product. A Me Too type of company. You have to do fundamentally something new. Who would have thought that I will order and then I will get the product, food in next 30 minutes? And who would have thought that I'll order now and I'll get the product in 10 minutes? And Blinkit has done it, right? So, in fact, when this Blinkit was announced that, okay, I'm going to 10 minutes, I was searching. I was just looking into how they can do. Because generally 10 minutes, like even if I order now, even the dark store is 10 kilometers or maybe 5 kilometers, it will take 3 minutes to actually deliver. And then we have just 5 minutes, someone will go pick the product, wrap it up, then actually there will be checkout process, then hand it over to driver, then it will come, and all within 10 minutes. I think we take 15 minutes to decide what to eat, and then it is getting delivered in 10 minutes. So human expectations has no barrier, right? So tomorrow it is also possible that I will do anything. I will just get up and sit on my chair, and then I will find that whatever the product I was wanted is already there on. So drone has already delivered the product, and there is a robot in the kitchen who is actually cooked it and then given it. So that can happen after, I think, 5-10 years. 5-10 years is something which a lot of innovations will happen. So at this, I will not go deep, but at this stage, what I was trying to share, and as you have suggested, that trying to solve some of the problems, decision-making problems with the humans at that point of time. So this was how we actually migrated from the humble cart to completely automated. No, few things in case someone is interested in finance. I'll discuss the thing because that actually came up during the discussion, and then we can just wrap it up. If you are CEO of a company and you are at this stage, what you will do? So earlier in last couple of years, you were actually losing money, and now you have started to hit P&L positive or maybe even economics positive, and it's like 9x growth you have already achieved. What you will do?
I would reinvest all the money.
Yeah, that's very common for entrepreneurs. They will not say that I will take it home. So now you will invest. Where you will invest? You will invest in the product, and that particular product will be next level of product. It's always there, right? So, but you never know that the product where you are investing may backfire, right? And this actually happened during the discussion. People were actually started saying that what's happening around. But that is very natural to happen, that once you have money, you will invest on something that will actually give. But if you are a true entrepreneur, then that investment will actually pay off. Because you are thinking ahead of market, you are thinking 10x ahead of market. So your journey or your initiatives may not bear fruit immediately, but after say a couple of years, it will start giving you. So that's the major learning we have, that never shy away from improvisation. Iteration is the way forward. Otherwise, you will become obsolete and you will not know. Think about Nokia. So it's very easy to laugh. It's very easy to and I saw the entire journey where in iteration 5, iteration 6, people were actually laughing that where we are going. And as we go move, you will see. So that's the life of an entrepreneur, that you will always laugh at. Another high-level analysis that actually I wanted to share was that start coming up with alternate revenue stream. In case you focus just on one revenue stream, you may break even, but you may not be able to get enough revenue that will actually pay for your next initiative. So if you look at things, it will actually go like that, where each iteration, your base product will saturate at some point. Revenue from the base product. Your alternate revenue will actually give you leeway or maybe some strength to experiment your new initiative. So these are again a more high level. So now I'll just try to wrap it up. So this was initial slide that we started, right? Where we just have one touch and feel in the cart. But in Supercart, if you look at majority of those problems, we were able to solve. Obviously, still problem has not been solved completely, and we'll have to do more iteration, another 4-5 iteration to actually, and then company will pick up. So what's the secret? Because obviously we started that whether we have to follow a framework or we can just go by thinking. Obviously, whenever you said something, have you thought that what problem you are trying to solve before answering? So that's the very common thing that we always like you add a lot of value in this business. But every time when you actually suggested a future, it was in your mind that what is the base problem I'm going to solve?
It was there, but
Out of flow we do. Right. So this is very common that we never go to the actual problem we are trying to solve. What we do, so whatever we think, we just spin. And it happens in our actions also. In our company also, we do what we think without actually thinking what problem I'm trying to solve. So it's better to solve the problem which I'm trying to solve so that in case it doesn't work well, then I will have option to correct it. So in case I say, how's your sale? And sale is increased. And then my next question is why sale has increased and you don't have answer. Then I'm pretty sure that in case your sale is gone, you will not be able to know why it is gone. So why is this is very common? You that you analyze the situation, you just say what's the bottleneck, what's the problem, and then you just do some research and then you track and move. And that's very common. In case you try to follow any framework, etc., that will help you go. But the first principle is something we will continue to do. So that was from my side. In case anybody has any questions.
For example, if we make this card, do you think that there will be an audience that will be willing to pay? Meaning our cost will be the drones, the machines, the app, so much stuff. I mean, in real life, not the card, but if I have any service, any product, if I pack it up with stuff, I don't know if there's gonna be a market willing enough to pay the extra cost for the delivery, for all the stuff.
Okay, so I'll tell you. This is like so you obviously you use Uber.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they started, how they started? In your
They just open up the app and they filled up with banners, with publicity everywhere.
Okay, got it. And how much you paid for the Uber?
I don't remember, but it was more expensive than a normal.
Yes, little expensive, not more.
Yeah.
And how drivers were paid?
Sorry.
How drivers were paid?
Oh, they were very nice.
So that's the beauty. That when you come up with a revolutionary product, you have to work on marketing, you have to work on consumer. So what they did initially, they burned a lot of money because they made that particular product as a habit. So what they did, your yellow taxi, it was costing like 500 rupees. Then they kept that particular cost as 500 rupees. They burned a lot of, like they gave 40% incentive to drivers. They gave a lot of cashback to customers. Now customer is happy, drivers are happy. Now both are actually have started using car, but who is not happy? Company, because company is actually losing a lot of money. But after some time, what happened?
It's your investment.
Yes.
You turn up the price.
Yes.
People is still using.
Now you have search price, you have everything. So that is that in case you're thinking ahead of market, you have to come back to the current market and then take the user to fly. For that you need a lot of deep pocket, and then that's very common problem for any. In case for starting a small problem, the company will die after.
just
You know, you've been talking a lot about pumping cash, investment, diversifying, and you remind me a lot of the. I don't know if you read the case of Adam Newman and WeWork, which was this company that basically followed all the steps that, as you gave the example of where they started investing a lot. They thought they were ahead of the market. Thought they were thinking faster and solving all the problems in question. And at first, you said it, they dipped. They started losing money, but then they collapsed, and it was the largest collapse of an IPO in the history of the United States, and the largest collapse of any startup in history by following the exact model you were here. So don't you think that instead of looking at successful examples and saying, no, this is what we should do, we should instead look at unsuccessful examples and say, oh, this is what we shouldn't do, and not follow maybe every single positive example step by step?
Okay, so I completely understand that what we actually did in WeWork. we work actually remove the nexus in real estate. So before we work came into picture, the entire real estate was actually captured by nexus, right? They were all keeping that particular property hostage of them. This particular man, a single man, created an ecosystem that actually disrupted the entire nexus, right? So that he was entrepreneur, he created and then disrupted everything. Now you are saying that he has failed, but he has paved the way for many more startups. Like 91 Spring Boards, say WeWork is still there. Then we have SmartWorks. Then we have say there are a lot of startups in co-living spaces that has come up. So obviously, in case you are moving fast, you will meet an accident. That was unfortunate case where we have actually met an accident, and then he has actually destroyed the entire value that he has created. But he was able to build an ecosystem of this real estate. This from unorganized and have become organized. And this has happened, in fact, everyone. Even you look at, say, Uber. Uber was not that easy. Even before Uber, people will tried hard not so that Uber does not come into being. But Uber was able to succeed, right? So it happens that in order to break something, you will need muscle power, you will need money power. You may or may not succeed, but you have created an example for a lot of other people not to repeat that mistake and build on that. So either we will be in the old days, like for example, the metro, right? They are still burning, but they have actually created an ecosystem that's on so that is very natural. So in case you are fighting against the system, you need muscle power, and then you will have to invest because any customer will not come to your product unless you don't incentivize them. And in case you incentivize them, then obviously you will have to pay, and then you have to burn. So tell me a startup which has become $1 billion company by not burning them. That's the dark secret, maybe dark. But I'm not saying that burning money and you will get big. It's not always the
We can continue with the discussion over tea now.
Yeah.
Momentum. Wind up the session.
Thank you so much, for being here. It gave us knowledge and different perspective of how we should think towards forming ideas and how we should become a better entrepreneur. So now I would request Ms. Preta Silvi, our co-host for the startup competition. Please present a memento to Mr. Vidya Bhushan.